As we look forward to future days beyond this nightmarish communist existence we are currently living in, there surely must come a time when we have to replace what was old with, well, what is new. It is true that most of the people who have influenced us in one way or another through the media are turning out not to be exactly what we thought they were. Indeed, we have hacks, spooks and spies, and they are everywhere. In fact, I would go as far as to say that you won't get very far in the influential world of the media unless you are a hack and are firmly controlled by somebody else, and usually with some hidden agenda, or so it seems. And as we can see, one of our biggest problems we face in this world is influential hacks posing as news anchors talking agenda-driven propaganda on the telly. Maybe that's because your average adult in the Western world will spend around 35 years of their lives watching a screen, so maybe we should be a little bit more selective of who and what we watch from now on. As it wouldn't make much sense for any of us to just continue to allow people who probably don't like us all that much to deliver us the news. Let's take the CNN hack, Anderson Cooper, as an example, the media's favorite silver fox, who hails from one of the most powerful families in human history, as he is the son of an oligarch who was called Gloria Vanderbilt. Born into wealth, born into favoritism, and destined for a very easy life to just casually and with no conscience lie through his teeth while causing as much public division as he can. And it really isn't very uncommon to see elitist families get their children cushy little jobs while earning a fortune doing nothing much at all but causing public chaos. And let's face it, what does Anderson Cooper actually do himself? Well, not very much is the answer. As this man isn't a journalist. He doesn't do all the research himself. Hell, he doesn't even write the scripts that he reads out to you, while pretending they are his own words. No, they were written by somebody else. Let's face it, he probably doesn't even comb his own hair or even make himself a coffee. In fact, all he has to do is turn up, but yet, he is earning an absolute fortune for, well, basically lying to you. And as I mentioned, Anderson Cooper isn't a real journalist, as he never trained as one, but did work at the CIA headquarters for 2 whole summers while he was a student at Yale University, which is an intelligence agency-linked bastion where the former CIA director and US President George H.W. Bush also studied. But Cooper isn't the only media hack with clowns in America ties. In 2014, a prominent national security reporter, Ken Dilanian, was exposed for having collaborated extensively with the CIA. At the Associated Press and the Los Angeles Times, Dilanian did indeed share stories with spy officials before publication, and even plotted with CIA officers to manipulate public opinion on a drone assassination program. Yeah, Project Mockingbird much? A question has been asked, and you might well have been asked it: will things ever go back to normal after the virus has gone? Well, the evidence suggests that no, it won't. As the consequences of the government actions taken all around the world will be the nail in the coffin of a thing called trust, especially when the whole truth and nothing but the truth comes out, as it's slowly beginning to do so. Suicides are up, anxiety is up, depression is up, domestic violence is up, alcohol consumption is up, state dependency is up, and, with all of this mess getting worse by the day, many nations are now plunging into a recession which will make the crash in 2008 look like the cost of a low-budget romantic week in Paris in comparison. Yes, the bankers have been adding zeros by the dozens to all of their computers, as they haven't even bothered to print any physical money this time around. And for what? A virus that kills less people than influenza? Did you know that Hong Kong have destroyed their entire economy due to only 4 virus of the crown deaths? Yes, 4. Now isn't that insane? You see, this was never about any virus, this was a power grab from the start, and more people are beginning to realize it. So what happens when the penny really drops? How will any of these political institutions, as well as the lying mainstream media, ever be trusted again? The simple answer is, they won't. As trust is an integral part of who we are, and without it, the unity that allows for a free-flowing world is splintered into fragments that causes more conflict, more division, and a lot more pain for all of us. As the real damage caused by this globalist pandemic is yet to be seen in its totality. And I can tell you from what I'm researching that a large number of people who have got caught up in all of this will never trust anyone ever again. Society was already broken, and now it's been smashed into tiny little bits. Now I wonder just how many of you noticed that the minute the wars in the Middle East began to calm down, we are suddenly hit with this virus. Did anyone else notice that? Maybe you did, and no, it's not a coincidence, I'm afraid, as it's all part of their plan to continue to bombard us with distractions, diversions, and a lot more confusion in order for us to come off the track we were traveling on, which was exposing all of the pedophilic activity, the corruption, and the criminality of all of these political and celebrity hacks. Now, in that segment, you might have caught me mentioning what's been going on in Hong Kong when it comes to this killing the working class pandemic. Well, Hong Kong shut down their entire industry and commerce on January the 25th, in the year 2020. The country is now in its 4th month of commercial inactivity, even though its 8 million citizens only endured 4 virus of the crown deaths to date. And much like everywhere else, schools were closed down, and are still closed despite children being virtually immune to the virus. Now isn't that strange? In Hong Kong, 1,056 cases have been confirmed with infection, but only 4 deaths in total to this day. Which means the percentage of confirmed cases is minuscule. In fact, I'd go as far as to say that they've probably had more cases of people dying by choking from a dodgy noodle. So, ask yourself, why would any government shut down the entire country for 4 months due to only 4 virus of the crown deaths, which were probably something else like a heart condition or diabetes, or even one of them very potentially dangerous and dodgy noodles I was just talking about? Indeed, the question must be asked of why would the Hong Kong government shut down the entire economy for 4 months and push it to the point of death, as the Hong Kong economy is officially well and truly dead and buried. Now, take your mind back to just a few months ago, before this virus of the crown. What exactly was going on in Hong Kong? Are the people now being punished for their actions? Indeed they are. And this, my dear friends, should show us all just how powerful our enemy is, and also what a dangerous tool the mainstream media still are, as this worldwide lockdown would never have happened without the mass hysteria created by all of these fake news reading hacks worldwide. They must all be held to account. All of them.